The world is so darn big, why not try to experience it all? But traveling unlocks a whole new flavor in your own life. Maybe it's the people you meet, maybe it's the things and the culture and the history that you can't just get in the books. Sometimes you have to go physically be there, experience it, breathe in the fresh air, look at the nature, look at the mountains, look at the waterfalls, and really experience it in the moment. It's so easy to get trapped into this routine of living our lives, going to work, living for the weekend, and then repeating that over and over again. But when we travel, we actually get to break that cycle, break that pattern. Whenever I go traveling, I feel like I'm in a new space. I get to meet people. It's exciting. The adrenaline's rushing. You want to do everything, but you can't. You only have a limited amount of time. You feel as if you're a new person, as if you're someone that is uninhibited, that you have all the options in the world. And that's what the idea and the feelings of travel allows you to really do, is to really live. It's part of why I continually travel over and over again, and why I'm traveling full time for the last few years. It gives me the feeling of actually living. So as I'm traveling, and especially being someone from the United States, you see certain things that are not the norm in other countries. For example, work culture. In the US, what's normal is at least 40 hours, 50 to 60 hours for a lot of us that are working hard and trying to, I guess, build something or build a career and climb the corporate career ladder in order to one day hope to make enough money so that we can support our family, get a house, and I guess live the American dream. In other countries, it's different. And in a way, it's not that they have different goals, they want to do all the same things, but they have a better sense of reality of, I'm going to not sacrifice the current present in order for a future that might not ever come. That they're more in the moment, that they're able to enjoy their time with their family, enjoy the fruits of their labor. And I've seen this across South America, across Europe. People are just more chill in the sense of work is work, and work doesn't define me. But being someone from New York City, the most capitalistic and materialistic city in the world, people define themselves by how busy they are, what their job is, and probably the first question that you hear is, what do you do? As if they're sizing you up and trying to figure out if I should talk to you or not. As you go out into the world and experience it, you realize that life is not all about work. We already kind of know that. It's like common sense, but I guess common sense is not common knowledge. We know these things, but we're not actively aware of it. And I feel like that is part of what travel helps you unlock. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video and you're getting some value out of it, please, if you can just click the like button and actually subscribe, that would be really, really helpful, because it helps the YouTube algorithm actually show my content to more people. As always, thank you for watching. Gratitude. Gratitude from coming from a first world country is something that you really experience while you're traveling. You see how little other people are living with and how much that we have in our lives, especially coming from a country like the US. You really realize how much things you have around you, and we take a lot of things for granted. I visited countries where running water is not a constant fixture in our lives, where lighting is not something that we always have, and sometimes we have to live by the candlelight or just using the sunlight to read, right? It's some of these things that you don't realize how good we have it. And people tell us all the time, oh, you're from the US, how great that is. But when you're living in this bubble and you see everyone having everything that you have, or maybe even more, you can't help but compare with other people. Well, even when you have so much in your life, you feel envious, jealous that they have the better iPhone than you, that they have the newer car than you, right? I guess this is what defines first world problems. And one of the things that travel does help is to give you a shock in the system and to really see the full world, not just your little slice of it, but the entire world, and just how small you really are and how much you actually have. And I feel like that is one of the beautiful things of travel. You know that feeling you get when you're traveling to a new country or a new city and you feel like no one knows who you are and you can be anybody. You can be anyone you want. You can make something up. This is an idea and a feeling that you feel so free that travel allows you to unlock. And honestly, it's the ability to reinvent yourself. When I have traveled to so many different countries, I seen how other people are living, how people are making their money, how people became a digital nomad. That's how I personally became a digital nomad, was seeing so many other people doing that exact same thing. And I was like, wow, people don't have to actually live in one location the rest of their lives. They can actually travel and experience things and do that while working and maintaining a living. They can combine work and travel and life all together. And that was just one of the beautiful ideas that I got from traveling. And you might ask yourself, like, why do I need to travel in order to reinvent myself? I'm not saying you can't reinvent yourself where you are now, but seeing is believing, and also having a fresh start, to remove yourself from your current environment, to break old routines, to break old habits, to see different people. Because the people that you surround yourself with now, are they doing what you really want for yourself? If it's not, then maybe you need to change your environment, because your environment has a lot to do with how you think, how you believe, how you do, and how you actually go about in the world. Being born and raised in a high cost of living city like New York City gives you a different flavor and perspective of the world. And when I started traveling, I started to see that things were a lot less expensive, especially coming from a country with the US dollar where the currency is strong. I quickly realized that it was even more affordable to travel. And that's sort of when I started my transition with minimalism. I decided to get rid of a lot of my things. I sold my car, I got rid of my apartment, and sold a lot of things, and just started being a person that doesn't rely on things, but is looking for experiences, meeting people, and experiencing arts and culture, and really living life. And as I was traveling, I kept track of my expenses. I kept a budget. I understood that while I was traveling, I was actually saving a lot of money, not having to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month on an apartment in New York City while I was slaving away at the office. I quickly realized I'm gonna take that money, that $5,000, and travel full time and actually save money, and then invest that money towards my own financial freedom. That was a game changer, and that was something I only realized while I was traveling. And I know truly living. How do you define truly living? And to me, travel is a big part of that. And it's not so much of traveling for traveling's sake or checking off countries and cities like a to-do list. But for me, it's really the people that I meet, the things that I get to see, the nature, being in part of nature, and truly centering myself and understanding that life is not all about work, it's not about status, it's not about all these accoutrements of the material world. It's really being out there, being present, and enjoying what life has to offer. Nowhere in history have we been able to actually go and do and see all these things within one span of a lifetime. If we think and we go back 100 years, people were living very, very differently than how we are now. And sometimes it's hard to realize that when we're in the moment itself. That's what traveling has done for me. It's given me this new perspective of time. My time on this earth is limited. I'm in my 30s right now. I don't have a whole lot of responsibilities, and I'm only gonna be young like this with my health, with my ability to do and learn and explore once in my life. As I get older, I'm gonna have more responsibilities. I'm gonna have more constraints on where I actually live. I might have a family. I might not be able to even have time to take time off in order to go and see the world and experience it, right? What is the point of doing and working so hard if we can't actually live? If you enjoyed that video, make sure to like and subscribe. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Also, check out this next video about my experience full-time traveling as a digital nomad for the last 3 years.